Welcome to the program of Mansik Shakti Foundation. I am Amresh Shrivastava, Psychiatrist, and we are discussing about mind sciences. The course developed for welfare of students for dealing with challenges of their life. And one of the challenges that they have is about mental health. And we are going to talk now about common mental health problems and responsibility of all stakeholders. My dear friends, students' life is precious, but each and everybody feels that they are such heroes that they can never develop a problem. They forget that about 8 to 9% of students have physical problems of physical health, chronic disabilities, and they are struggling with those difficulties. They also forget that there is so much stress in the environment, in the society. They are struggling with that. We should not forget that future, the employment opportunity, the job opportunity, the economic condition is extremely difficult and challenging. And one thing which has added to this dimension is information processing. The propagation of information with so quick speed on Instagram, WhatsApp, it reaches to everybody that today there is war in Ukraine and tomorrow a 9-year-old child in village in Uttar Pradesh knows about it. We have read about it in the newspapers. Such is the speed of information. We must remember that information, whether by media or by print or by anybody, is a dual action argument. It can create severe anxiety, it can relieve anxiety, it can make people comfortable by providing them good news. But the social media and other Facebook, Instagram, and so many channels that people are accessing today is full of difficult information. Those students who do not have the power of analysis, assimilation, processing these information and taking in and taking out of their mind face difficulties. Current research shows that about 20% students in the universities and colleges are dependent on internet-based media. Quite often, we see them in our clinics. They come and the parents complain that the gentleman cannot give up the mobile phone, the Instagram. What do you think is the problem? If you think deep, the problem is about maturation of the brain, development of inability to give up, control the impulses. There are guidelines, all scientists have developed guidelines for internet use in children in India as well as globally. But it is so very difficult to implement them. You need a different set of parenting. Why I am talking this context first before dealing with common mental health problem? Because this is today's gateway for problem. From here, the new set of problem will be seen when these children will grow, become 20, 25-year-old in some time. That genera will have different set of brain mechanism to manifest psychiatric disorders. Their thinking, perception, speed, multitasking is going to be different. And for these different challenges, we'll need unique therapies. So what are the other conditions which bother us, whether it is at a global level or at Indian level? As students, what we should know. We must know that anxiety is a part of our psychological function. It is good to be anxious, and if we see anxiety and performance curve, it's a bell-shaped curve. Our anxiety continues to increase and our performance also continues to increase, and that is why, because of incentive of performance, we tolerate that anxiety and it remains. But then there comes a point where there is maximum anxiety and maximum performance. After that period, there is decline in performance. If anxiety continues to increase, performance starts decreasing. So what is the significance of this threshold? Each and every student must know the threshold of anxiety and performance, because it is here that you will determine that either I am developing a symptom which I cannot tolerate, or my performance is decreasing. I am losing concentration, I am losing sleep, I am not feeling relaxed, I am not feeling hungry, I don't enjoy, my focus is somewhere else, I sit in the class but think something else. This will happen if the anxiety level becomes intolerable. Anxiety is common in university students. About 30-35% of students and minimum 10 to 15% students have reported symptoms of anxiety, whether it is in form of panic disorder, or it is in form of fear or phobia, or it is associated with anger and hostility, or it may be associated with impulsiveness, doing something before thinking, or maybe sometimes hearing voices, or getting attracted to addictive medications. Anxiety forms the background material for construction of a good house. And if this background material is unsustainable, or you cannot handle it, you cannot modulate it the way you want, then the whole house of future is on shaky grounds. The first thing students need to know is art of relaxation, art of identifying symptoms of anxiety, and art of relaxation. It is important to point out here that art of relaxation does not mean that you jump and do yoga and pranayama and other exercises, relaxation exercises. No, certainly that helps. What is more important to know is the thought process which makes you stressed. It is always a question, an inability to solve the question, the conflict behind the conflict which stirs physiological reaction. Anxiety has two components, the physiological state and psychological state. Your pulse, blood pressure, skin conductance increases if you become anxious. Moment it starts increasing, your psychic energy becomes fast. You start becoming uncomfortable, uneasy, anxious, restless, and then it starts affecting your sleep, appetite, etc. So it is physiological, biological, and psychological. Once its symptoms manifest in form of behavior, for example, you start running up and down, start pacing fast, so your behavior has changed, and then starts the social complications. So all areas of life are affected by just one psychological difficulties, and that is inability to relax. We'll continue to talk about the treatment of managing relaxation.